welcome to Cinema Therapy, the podcast for people who know nothing about life but know all about TV and film. I'm Nicole.
I'm Karen.
Let's do our weekly check-in. How are you, Karen?
Oh, you go first.
All right, I
How
guess.
are you?
You're such a gentle lady. I'm doing well. One of my very close friends came to visit this week.
Yay!
She's a guest on the
Woo!
show. Yay! Ty Kinlow. I'm so happy that you're here. We had a magical night or weekend in New York. Yeah.
Whirlwind
Yes.
weekend in New York.
Where are you visiting from?
Washington, D.C.
Beautiful.
From the bus. Here I am.
Now we can really hear you. You're so clear.
My voice. Yuck. Oh.
Lovely.
But yeah, came up to visit Nicole and my friend Kevin. Been really fun. Got some good dancing in.
Yes. We were acting like we were 24 years old, staying past 2 a.m., acting like we don't have anything to wake up for in the morning. It felt so good, like getting up way past my normal wake-up time.
Yeah.
10 a.m. is very comfy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You're up like at 6 a.m. every day. I see you on
am.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Nicole Sophia is
Wow.
active at 6
I feel so seen.
I see you.
Blast.
Oh, no, I see you on the Instagram. You're on that social media.
Very
Don't think she's
active.
cleansing herself when she wakes up. No dream journals for this girl. She's straight into the Instagram. Yeah, that's real. So that's how my week went. How about you, Karen?
Lovely. My weekend was great. I don't know. I need to think of a better word. I spent a lot of time with different people, and as always, it's very taxing, and I walk away from experiences feeling drained and used. But
Your face.
I don't know. That's just what I'm figuring out. Like, relationships, friendships are exhausting. And I hate to be a negative Nancy these days. But, you know, I don't think it's negative. I think it's me realizing things as an adult and getting wiser.
I think
And
it's
so-
worse in the winter, though.
That's
Everything
true.
feels harder in the winter.
It's
Like,
harsh.
everything.
That's very true. And I'm not even talking about, like, a romantic kind of relationship. I'm talking about actual friendships. Like, they're a lot.
It
You know-
requires maintenance.
It does. I don't see that much difference. I mean, apart from the people that I'm like having sex with and not having sex with, but like there is that intimacy with your friends and significant others, and like they can take as much energy out of you, and you have to like set boundaries sometimes.
Yeah, boundaries are great. I think I need to do a real cleansing.
Okay.
Just because a lot of other things take precedence, and priority. This is not including you, Nicole. I feel like
It's so funny 'cause
always
every
looking at me.
time.
I wouldn't be talking about it with you. 'Cause
Tension
I'm
in the air.
I'm a very
right now.
passive aggressive
Wow.
person. I would never talk about
I
this in front of
know.
you if it was real. Like if you were included in this. I'm confiding in you. That's
No,
what's
I'm
happening
listening.
right now.
I don't know what my face is doing, but I guess like I'm just shocked because you're being so explicit and like how like exhausting your friends are. I'm like, oh, if I'm your friends listening, I'm like, who is it me?
Think on that.
What have I
Reflect.
done? Yo, she's plotting over here. Yeah, that's a good little transition into our topic for this week, Killer Women. What do we love about these movies? Like, these movies where we have, like, it's usually gorgeous women because it's Hollywood. Like, they're always going to be beautiful. And then they come through with their plots and their murderous instincts, and they're just, like, just demolishing these dudes. And I'm like, yes, like, more. I love it. Like, what is it about them, these film and TV characters that are so delightful?
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say that I think it's interesting that you specifically wanted Ty for this specific episode.
Well, yeah.
I want to know why you think of or why you associate Ty with
Yeah.
these kinds of episodes.
Killer women.
I know.
Kinlow.
Okay, here comes the tea. So, no, honestly, like, I was thinking Okay, so it was when I visited you in DC, and I realized that you needed to see Killing Eve. I was like, oh, this is a TV show that you'll definitely like. And I feel like you have very like particular tastes. Like you'll watch most things, but the things that you really enjoy like end up being like a specific kind of genre. And like if it's not like reality, like not even like, you know, like dramatic reality TV, like like storytelling and stuff like that, if it's not that, then it's like when people are like doing crazy shit. You love crazy shit. Like you just love the drama.
I love it.
And
the
your reactions are so amazing. Like if you ever want to be entertained by more than just the screen, if you just want like a fully entertaining experience, I recommend like watching a really crazy movie with Ty, because she's just like her expressions are so insane. I love it. She's just like gasping and her jaw drops and she's like,
I'm very expressive. I've been told I'm dramatic.
Really?
Maybe I am. Maybe
You seem
I'm
so
not.
chill and
Thank
so
you.
down
That's
to
what I
earth.
think.
Yeah, I mean, not that
I
you
might be
can't
both.
be. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
think
be
you can
down
be
to
both.
earth, and like
a little
you can be
love
both.
drama.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, she's a Leo, so gotta have a little
yeah.
drama.
It's very strong energy.
Yeah,
Shoulder
it's the
shimmy.
sun. The sun has taken the spotlight.
I love the savagery.
Yeah.
Yes.
Savage. I just love it so much. Like Brianna in that song, didn't they tell you that I was a savage? Like, that just resonates with me.
Mm-hmm.
So in these movies, when I see that, they're flipping the script. They're like, oh, you thought I was just this hot bitch? No, I'm about to kill your ass and take all your shit.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
So,
Like, isn't it in that video, Bitch Better Have My Money, where she like kidnaps a woman like straight
Yeah.
up and like,
mhm.
yeah, that's
It's a
Put
very
her in a
violent.
trunk.
yeah, that's very, it's very
She did not shy
violent.
away.
Yeah, I love it.
like,
Yeah.
she's drugging her. They're in the pool.
Yeah, it's
like,
not funny, but it's like really,
it was like a human trafficking
really-
situation.
yeah,
It was
graphic.
just, like,
but
rich
I
white
was all
lady.
for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I was
I
totally
know.
for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think I love these movies or these stories because I love seeing women like who have snapped. You know what I mean? Like women, I feel like deal with a lot in relationships and in the work environment, like, or in family, friendships. And I just love, oftentimes I feel like in life, generally women have to be the bigger person in situations and suck it up. They're just very silent about what they're going through.
yeah.
But they go through so much and like they don't really get enough credit. So I love seeing women who have just snapped. And,
I
like,
agree.
Yeah, like,
I feel like Gone Girl is a good example of that because I feel like the story of like the wife who isn't really appreciated and like in the beginning it was great. There was all this romance and sex and then like you just get familiar. Like they just start to take advantage of you and then they trade you in for a younger model that like makes you feel like or makes them feel like more of a man and like more secure about themselves. The only twist is like this is not just some normal girl who's gonna just like take this lying down and be like, okay, you can divorce me and you can go have this life with some new girl. She's like, nah, like I'm not sitting down for that. Like you are going to get the punishment that fits the crime. I think it's so cool.
yeah, and in real life, I feel like if this were to really happen, if a husband were to leave his wife for a younger woman, we would just like go on like
Yeah.
in life, you know, and she
Yeah.
couldn't do anything about it. She just had to be the bigger person and move on. You
For
know what I
sure,
mean?
yeah.
And, like, and how nice that I'm not condoning murder, but how nice,
right. Like,
like how
But
nice
it's nice,
Yeah,
though.
like, how nice,
Feel
yeah.
the vengeance. You're just like, this is what you deserved. Someone finally gets what they deserve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's nice to feel the justice sometimes.
does
'Cause
feel
especially
justice.
as women, it feels like we're never centered in these situations. You are finally, and you're getting what you want, and the juxtaposition, like what you said, with these like gorgeous women and them doing like this crazy savage violence is also really interesting to watch.
oh yeah, I love the scene where Amy played by Rosamund Pike, is like on the bed, and she has like this beautiful lingerie, and she like slashes this guy's throat.
God, right?
And she has all this blood all over her, and her like hair is almost perfect. She just like flicks it back real quick, and this like just strand goes right back into place. And it's just like, ooh, like yes, I love this imagery. Like I know, like it would not be something I wanted to consume in real life. Like, okay, murder is bad. Yes.
Yeah.
But like in this fantasy world where you're able to actually address what your husband did to you and like find the punishment that like you really truly feel like fits what they did. I enjoy seeing it. It's affirming.
I know that you said that it was like she got inspiration from Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. Yeah, the first 5 minutes of Basic Instinct, like the first scene ever is this blonde woman like straddling her husband. It's like extremely sexy, and she just like stabs him over and over again, and like it comes out of nowhere. But it's like I love that they mix sexuality and like this violent, gruesome act. It's really weird, but I love it.
Yeah. I guess go ahead.
It's generally very hard for me to watch violence at all, like blood, gore, any of that. But in these types of situations, I can watch it. I can handle it. I'm like, I like this.
I agree. I think like one of the reasons why Kill Bill is like one of the only Quentin Tarantino films I can like stomach is because it's like a woman who's like on this like revenge spree, just killing all these people that obviously deserve it. But generally, I feel like Tarantino is just like violence porn, and I'm just like not about it.
Yeah,
like I think the only other example is Inglourious Basterds.
Oh, I love Inglourious Basterds. I mean, I love Tarantino, but I seem to be alone in that opinion. But Inglourious Basterds is great. And
okay. Yeah. No. That was fun. That was a good one.
That has another character, like Shoshana. She burns down that whole theater.
She does.
You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, what a great scene.
Yeah.
So empowering.
There's like reason behind these actions. Like I get what's happening. Like I see what brought you there and why you would be so upset with the world. Like these really dramatic solutions have been brought about because you've just been fucked over and over. Like it really like uses the plight of like most womankind of like having very little control over your like general lot in life and feeling like these men and their whims are what are maneuvering the ship, and finally they're like, no, fuck this, like I'm burning down this theater because you playing too many games with my family, with my life. Yeah.
So you recommended Killing Eve to Ty.
Yes.
What did you think?
I loved it. It was great. It was surprising. It had me like on the edge of my seat. I love like the sexual tension in it. I love the violence in it. I love the way that she like truly seemed to delight in like killing people.
She did.
Which was like shocking to watch just because of, you know, stereotypes of women. They're like very demure and like shy away from violence and want to like be very conciliatory and bring everyone to happiness. And she's like, no, look at me while I'm killing you. I love this shit.
Look at me.
I'm getting off on this right
Look
now.
at me.
Like, it was great. And like all of the twists, like I was watching it with one of my other best friends and she was telling Nicole that I was doing what I do when I watch movies, and I was just like screaming and just like, because the twist, I love it.
It's crazy. I mean, it's very typical for a BBC show in that it moves so quickly. So it feels like a bunch of movies where you're just like seeing the craziest shit happening. They don't play any games. They're like, we're going to give it to you. Like, we are killing off characters. People are in danger. I love Villanelle. I like her sense of humor a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, most of the examples we have of these, like, killer women, they're not really full of humor. They're a lot of times very cold.
Yes.
And she instead, like, delights in, like the murder aspect. She has, like, that twisted sense of humor. And then I agree with you. I love when she's like staring at them like, wow, like you can. I feel like she's having an orgasm.
Yeah,
she's
she's like totally getting
yes.
off on it. Like, energy vampire type.
Yeah.
Like, I am really loving this.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was great. And also the fashions. I love
Yes. Oh my gosh, it would have been really hard for me to turn down that suitcase of clothes.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how she wasn't like immediately trying everything on. I was like, ooh, I want to touch that.
Yeah, I mean, Sandra Oh's character was really interesting to me because she was also like very immersed in this woman. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't just about like saving the world as she
No.
like
Mhm.
proclaimed. Like, there was definitely like sexual
There was
attention.
tension there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sexual tension and a lot of like, I don't know. She was getting. I felt like she would also like get off on like these murders and like the violence of it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like that one scene, I think it's pretty early on when she's like, right after she cuts that guy's artery in some way and he dies without even knowing it or something. And she's like pushing the knife on her skin and you can kind of see like the deeper darkness that she has within her. Like,
Yeah. She's a little crazy.
Yeah.
For sure. Like
Yeah.
there's something going on there. I feel like she's kind of like, if she wasn't a detective or like working in this field, she would be like one of those people who would like marry the Mansons or whatever. Like she
Oh my
like
God.
doesn't
Yeah,
want to
like
be
a
like
cult follower.
too, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like she's like really intrigued and like is turned on by like the idea that someone is like killing people in this like masterful way. But she's like, oh, I'm still going to detach myself a little bit so I feel like I'm a normal person. Like, I can obsess over it, but I'm not actually doing the killing. But,
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
spoilers, but
No
she's...
spoilers. Oh. I want to talk
It's
about that
so
last
hard to not do
episode.
spoilers.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
I mean, people had like a
Alert,
year.
alert,
Y'all
alert.
had a year.
You're right.
Spoiler alert. That... I was pissed. I was fucking pissed at...
I was screaming.
Yeah.
Like,
That last
actually
episode?
screaming.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
I was really upset. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, she obviously was not gonna stab you, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, and like, what are you doing? Like, why are you in her home? And,
Like,
acting
what are
like-
you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Also, side note, I love that her fridge was just filled with champagne.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just like, oh my God, I love you.
She's
You
like
are
a grown
the
child.
best.
I
Yeah.
love it. Like her birthday parties and the balloons and the
Mhm.
big dresses. Like that's what I would be doing with insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like,
getting lots of
she was
dessert.
getting all this money to kill people, so she
Yeah.
obviously like didn't want to hold on to this. She probably thought it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like all this money for like
Yeah.
killing.
She just
people.
wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, what was she saying? She just wants the same thing that everyone else wants, a nice relationship, a fun job, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a cool flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she does have a cool flat. I mean, we could disagree about her job choice.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean,
I
there's
personally,
worse jobs.
True. She seemed to love it though. You know, she definitely loved it.
She did. She was happy.
But yeah, that last scene was crazy.
I just thought it was so absurd. Like she stabs
And how
her,
did-
and then it's like, "I'm gonna save you." Like I'm trying to help you. Like
Yeah.
she wrote, "What are
She's
you
so
doing?"
confused.
Yeah,
like she's like,
confused.
I can't believe I did what I did.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess like that's what was upsetting to me. I was like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna stab her, like be real about it. Like, oh, I stabbed you and I wanted
Exactly.
to.
I
Like
got
that was
you.
my plan.
You killed my best friend.
Right?
Yeah.
Like she doesn't know how
Bitch.
she feels. Like
Yeah.
she's like, I think she's really straddling between like trying to be a normal person and act like she is a normal person, and then this other part who's like, I like
I'm
murder.
obsessed with you.
Right, right. I feel like this is why a lot of people die, though, in like horror films, especially. Like they don't commit. Like if it comes down to like a standoff, like most people don't. Like most people will stab a person, and then they'll like instead of running away
Yeah.
or like going for it and like killing
They'll
them
like
in the head.
pause for a
They'll
second, like
pause. They'll go close to the body and then check if they're really dead. Like, no, bitch, get out the door.
Right.
Or like, if you're gonna shoot someone, shoot them in the head. This is a very. I feel like I'm like saying a lot of like really awful things, but
no, you're right,
talking
though.
about like shooting people. But you know what I mean?
You're
Like,
talking about in a
use your
harmony
brain.
movie
Well,
scenario.
Like
Right.
also her partner when he started following her
mm-hmm.
after the I'm
What the
seeing
fuck
her
was
on the
that
internet. Like,
about?
why would you do that? And then
What,
why would
follow
you
her to a
go
club?
into a club like clearly she's going to kill your ass?
Because he
Duh.
always underestimated this woman. Like,
Yeah, he underestimates women. It seems. in
yeah,
general.
I really think so. Like, I think if it was a dude, he would have been like, oh, I need my partners. I need, like, people around. Like, we're not
Yeah.
going to just have one person following. We need people in multiple directions to be following this dude. Like, don't go in a fucking dark club that's crowded. Like,
When you know that she can like slice your shit and you'll die without even knowing, like you're just gonna follow her and go into a club where you're gonna be like sardine can packed.
Well, I don't think he knew that it was the assassin right away.
Really? I think he
no,
did.
because he said, like, I feel like when he went into the club and then she turned around and smiled at him, he said the assassin, and then he started like running back.
I feel like
But
he
knew because she took her luggage with a scarf,
Right.
and so I feel like that's how he knew that it was her.
Yeah. Like, I think he knew who he was following. I don't think it was like, oh, it's her now that I saw her face. I really don't think so.
But then why would, like, what is that moment about then? Like, oh, now I'm going to fucking
No,
walk
he just
away.
realized that, oh, I'm in danger now. Because before that, he thought, like, oh, I'm in control. She doesn't know that I'm behind her. Like,
Which
I'm
also was dumb. Like, she's an assassin. She
Right,
knows her head
right.
is on a
Following
swivel.
her.
Okay?
Yeah.
Right, true.
Like, I really just think he underestimated
He
her.
really did.
And then he realized, like, oh, shit, she's going to turn around and stab my ass. And he's like, fuck,
God.
fuck. And
That-
you see that? It's very
No,
stressful.
bitch, you can't get out now.
That scene was horrible.
It really was. It was
so
not.
hard to watch.
And
for
she
me.
stabbed, like, real. Like, she was
Yeah.
not playing.
And
Like,
it's-
even the last episode, she's like, no.
Yeah. But it was so disturbing that, like, no one around him
I know.
could see, like, what was happening.
No, everyone was
Berlin
really
dance.
scary.
club,
Yes,
Yeah.
they were
like,
all on drugs.
They were rolling.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so scary to me.
Party. Like, can you imagine?
Party.
Like, you're on all these drugs and you turn around and you're like, dead body! Old ass man! Dead as fuck in the club. How did he get here? I see
I love that we're giggling about this right now. Wow.
So bad. So
Oh,
bad.
he's dead as fuck. Yeah.
Ah.
That was so crazy, though. I'm
That's
sorry.
What he gets, though. He really should not have gone in there. That was really stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
They were all stupid at the end of the day. Like-
I can't get over the last scene. And she's like, don't pull it out. And she
Oh,
pulls it out. And she's like, what did I just say?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh my god, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm sorry. Okay, so this week I've been like rewatching Westworld.
Okay.
What do we think about Westworld, guys? Like, what's going on there?
So I loved the first season of Westworld.
Same.
It was like so immersive. Like you felt like you were really experiencing a whole new world, kind of similar to like how they did with Wakanda. Like you felt what the world was like.
Yeah.
Second season, I don't know why it lost me though. Like I didn't care as much. The characters that I really loved, I was like, what are you doing? This is not who I thought you were. Like, I don't know.
It dragged. The second season definitely dragged. To be honest, I didn't finish it. And I hate talking about like movies or shows poorly because I don't know. I don't like whatever. I was really invested into the first season. I love what is her name? Evan Rachel Wood's character.
Yeah,
I love
very good.
Thandie Newton's character.
Dolores Maeve.
Yeah. Other than that, like I felt like nothing really happened in the second season.
So, granted, I haven't finished also, but I think it's a testament to how slow this season is moving because I generally will finish things very quickly if it's a, interesting plot line. But I
Yeah.
feel like they just kept repeating the same sentiment over and over. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
okay, one thing I did realize, the man in the black hat / William, he's definitely Mark Zuckerberg. That is like who he is in real life. Because the first time I had this realization was when in the first episode of season 2, and one of the guys at the party is like chasing after him, like, you always played fast and loose with this company, and he gets shot in the head, and then like all these like hosts are like shooting at him or whatever. To me, that's like the privacy, like Russian hackers like coming at you. And it was like the board member who's like, you were playing fast and loose with this data collection. Because like that's one of the things that they're like they realize they're mining data from like the guest experiences, and that's like the real money maker for it, like much like Facebook. And I feel like they think that they have control over the technology, but there's like all these like little holes that they'd never really considered.
Yes, Nicole. You just took it there. I definitely never thought about that, but I get it now. Yeah, Facebook is evil. Westworld is evil.
Yes.
Protect your
technology is evil.
Protect your online persona.
Try to.
They're watching you.
I mean, Ty was wise about this a long time ago. She has not had a Facebook since like ever. Like when did you?
Yeah. Once my grandparents joined Facebook, I was like, it's time for me to get off of it.
Really?
Well, also because like as soon as I would get on to the internet, my brain would immediately be like Facebook, and I just felt like that was really unhealthy for like my brain path to go like that. It was nasty to me, so I just had to get rid of it.
I do feel like that is my default. If there's like nothing on like my email, or I haven't gotten like direct messages, I'm like, okay, Facebook. Like, let's see what the world is thinking about. What's like the pulse of the moment right now?
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I would never get anything like super great from it. You know, it's not like I'm reading a book and like learning something. It's like, I don't know, reading stupid articles or looking at pictures I don't care about.
Yeah.
Oops.
No, it's so upsetting, honestly. Like, a lot of times I end up feeling like, oh, you just, like, inserted all these, like, negative ideas into my head.
Right?
Because, like, and now I realize how dumb people are from my high school.
Don't really want to think about that.
Yeah. I mean, not all of you. I'm still friends with a lot of you. I'm talking about the other ones.
Yeah. I mean, my experience with Facebook is very different because that's how I keep in touch with my family in the Philippines. That's like the only way, because my parents don't really have a phone that I can call them with. So I use Facebook Messenger for that.
I feel like if Facebook comes out with some like Westworld type of situation where you're just like, I think first it would be the video games. Like, I think maybe like Farmville was like their first thing of Westworld. They're learning about how our like patterns are, like our economic patterns from Farmville. Oh my god. Anyway, okay. So my issue with the second season is like they keep repeating the same sentiment over and over. It's like, okay, like they're mining data, fine. That you know, these violent delights have violent ends. Like, I just like feel like they haven't inserted any new information.
Yeah,
like the first season was great because it felt like just like one long pilot, I guess. And now we're like at the second episode, and we're like, oh, this is it. Like, you don't
like, I want to learn something new.
Yeah, like I feel like they were like, oh, we weren't prepared to get this far. We didn't know what was gonna happen next. And it's like, you should have like get some new writers. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're just impressed with themselves for all of their like technical capabilities and like how much it looks like a movie, and that's great, HBO. Yeah. But like,
it's beautiful
storytelling though, like.
I mean, Westworld to me is just like one of those shows that white men love to say that they love. I feel like there's like certain it's like this thing, I don't know, like a lot of like pretentious white men that I know that like are self-proclaimed like cinephiles or whatever, or like, you know, movie critics, have like a certain canon of things that they love, and like everything in that canon is just super pretentious and like not necessarily of substance or good, in my opinion, but because like it's in the canon of what is good, like they know better, they understand it, when really it's like, for me, like Lost is in there, and Westworld, like when Westworld first came out, like a lot of these men that I knew were like all about it. Yeah. And like, or it's like, you know, like Inception. Like, a lot of people like to pretend that they understand it or that they think it's so fucking deep, when really it's just like garbage. I mean, oh my god, I don't want to say
That's
anything
too
bad.
far.
I don't
That's
want to
too
say
far.
anything bad about any movies.
Basura.
Christopher Nolan's great.
I mean, he
I'm
doesn't
gonna
put black
stop
people in their
talking.
films, but
Oh.
all right.
Inception is not good to me.
I love Inception. I'm
I
not gonna
really-
lie.
Liked
It's
Inception.
completely overrated.
What? It's so fun.
Are you upset because you didn't get it the first time? Like, it seems like
No,
some like.
I think it's so stupid. I think
What's
it's
stupid
so
about
stupid.
it?
Visually, it's beautiful, like any Christopher Nolan film.
Okay,
But
facts.
you know what? That's how I feel. Like Westworld, there's parallels. I feel like, again, it's in the canon of all these pretentious movies and films, TV shows that a lot of these white men like.
I would group it together, and I understand the sentiment behind, like, okay, there is a lot of films that I think get hyped up and are like 5 stars, whatever, because men are reviewing it, and they're like, oh, we know what we like. We like violence. We like to live in the world where, like, you can't trust people, and there's this suspicion or whatever. Like, and then when it's movies about, like, friendship or love or stuff that,
yeah.
like, you know, women traditionally are more geared towards enjoying, then it has to, like, get to a really, like, high level of substance for it to be great. I think with, like, the action movies, we will, like, give 3-4 stars willy-nilly just because it, like, you know,
Has a beginning, middle, and end.
yeah, and like it has like the violence or whatever, like the action that like guys will generally like more. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, again, like I love like Tarantino films.
Mhm.
There's a lot of action. I mean, generally, I like Christopher Nolan. I really do. I just think that sentiment is very annoying to me. I don't know. It's just how I feel.
Okay. That's fine. I think like with Westworld though, like going back to that, I think like the robot women are interesting when you like compare it to like the women from like these like revenge plots. It seems like that's what motivates their
Yeah.
characters. While like with the robot women, it's like they're also for Westworld there is some revenge tinge about it, but they also have like they've been wired to be able to carry on these like more violent plots, so like they are reduced in their like levels of empathy so they can like just move forward in whatever their goals are. Like that is very close to what's happening in Ex Machina. Like they're able to use their seemingly more feminine personalities and then flip it on you like, actually,
quick.
bitch, I'm a robot.
Didn't you remember that I
Like-
actually don't have any feelings?
Exactly. I love it. Like, Ex
Yeah.
Machina is crazy. You did see Ex Machina?
Oh my god.
First of all, do your homework.
There are a lot of other killer women out there.
But that one is a
movies.
very good example.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was actually another film that I recommended to you that weekend.
Yeah. Did I watch it with you? Or
No, you watched it like when
Oh my
I
gosh.
left, I think, and then you texted me and you're like,
I was
Nicole,
changed
it was
after
great.
this.
It was
When
so
I watched
great.
it, I was like, "Oh my god, that was an experience. I feel amazing right now."
It was fabulous.
You sold me.
It was again
Just
like a
try it.
situation
Give
where
it a
like
shot.
the you know, I don't remember what they named the robot in the film. What's the
Me
actor's
neither.
name? Sorry.
Alicia.
Oh,
Vikander.
Vikander.
Oh, she's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
Yes, she was. She was.
She was great. Well, they like wire her so that she is more of an alluring character, like someone that like a guy like the guy in this film would
Kind
fall
of
in
like
love
a her
with.
type of situation.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
very appeasing and like, oh, what do you like to do? And blah blah blah. Very soft and giving. You know, the way
Mhm.
that men like to stereotype women.
Exactly. Like it's
Basically.
not really like you don't need a backstory. I just need you to be willing to hear everything about me, and I think that's
Yeah.
like why it's so
Sounding
easy for
board.
them to fall in love with these girls because, like, oh, like your story ain't real. I don't really need to focus on you. It's all about me. Back to being the most important thing.
Yeah, I loved that movie.
It's crazy. I don't want to ruin the end
I
for
know
you since
I
you
can't
haven't
talk
seen
about
it.
but I hope you love it.
I'm sure I will. I'm very excited.
I was about to
watch
say, I
it.
don't know if you will. You hated Inception.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't know what you
Listen.
like anymore.
You've thrown a wrench in all of this. Like, what do you even like, Karen?
This
if
is
you
about
don't like
killer
Inception?
women, not Inception, okay?
Ellen Page didn't kill anybody in that movie. All right, so since it's about killer women, what other killer women did you want to talk about? Oh, we were talking about Kill Bill. I gotta say, Kill Bill Volume 2 was a waste of time.
Wait,
like,
yeah, I totally disagree.
Oh. Now we know what Karen likes.
yeah. Tarantino. Yeah, that
And
could
you
have.
know what? That's not true about... Oh, no, you were talking about
I'm not
Christopher
done.
Nolan, not Tarantino. Sorry.
I'm not.
sorry.
You can tell me about Nolan in a second. But Tarantino could have made that into one film, first of all. Like, he's very self-indulgent. He's like, I want to do all this dramatic shit. I want to, like, have time for you to write Bill's name in the window and then gloss it over. Like, oh, you're so smart, Tarantino. Amazing. Like, I'm done with all the little symbolism. He has characters, like, flipping out their fans, like, I can't. Like, he's too much. He needs to chill. Like, he needed somebody at his film school to be like, edit. Like, there's, okay. One of, like, the stories is about, like, George Lucas's, like, original films were better because they had, like, this really amazing, like, story editor. And then, like, in the newer ones, he was able to just run free, and that's why it was shitty. Like, directors
Editors are important.
Yes, get your editors. Like, you don't need all this. You're
Karen
just
has
doing
something to
No,
say, y'all.
I'm listening. I'm taking it all in.
I
you
never
know?
saw Kill Bill Volume 2, so I'm like taking both of what you guys
You're
are
good
saying.
with just
and-
volume
You know what?
one,
Yeah,
honestly.
To be fair, yes, you are good. Just part one.
Wow, okay.
But you disagree with me. But you
I mean,
disagree.
you know, it's a revenge story. It's like a Western. It's like a long Alexandre Dumas novel. The buildup is necessary for the drama, for the, yes, I finally killed him. I finally got my revenge. I am with my daughter now. We can ride off into the sunset. It's very theatrical and dramatic, and I'm all about it.
Maybe if it
okay?
was a mini series, I would be down for like this very
okay.
extensive
That makes sense.
like issue. The problem is like the first film moves really, really quickly. Like in the first 15 minutes, you're already killing people, and she's already dead and wakes up, and like it's a whole thing. And then like in the middle, she's like prepping, and then there's like fighting for like the last 45 minutes, right? Like it's just like a lot of violence. And then the second film, it's like talk, kill two people, talk, kill one
You
person in a
need
really annoying
exposition,
way.
Nicole. You need to understand the backstory. You need to understand why she wants to kill Bill, and they give it to you in part 2.
Tarantino needs to be better at dialogue if he's
Oh
going to
my
spend
God.
so
Are
much
you
time
kidding
on
me?
dialogue.
Are you kidding me?
The energy,
Pulp
you guys.
Fiction
Wow.
is amazing writing. Quentin Tarantino wrote several screenplays before he even made a film.
Just because you
I'm
can
just
write them doesn't mean that they're
A
good.
lot of great movies. True Romance. He wrote True Romance.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm not going to yell. But I'm just saying, like, what I loved, I'm just going to say what I loved about Volume 2. What I loved about Volume 2 was exactly that, the exposition, the backstory. You really, like, you saw why she fell in love with Bill in the first place and why she was in that position.
I didn't see that.
Well, I
Why?
did.
Why did she
okay?
fall in love with Bill? It seems like a Me Too moment, honestly. He's too
Wow.
old.
Oh my
How
God,
did they
come
meet?
on now, Nicole.
He's old
You're
as
gonna talk
fuck
about
and she was
ageism
young.
right now.
She like at least like 20
20 years is not a huge difference. Are you kidding me?
I'm-
Who are you?
No. I'm
Years
saying
is
at
not a
least
huge difference.
that's a huge difference.
Oh,
first of
really?
all, and I
Wow.
like they're not clear about like how old she is when she's doing this training. Like I don't know when this. Like they're
She-
very unclear about like how this relationship came
Listen.
about, and I'm sure how it did was probably very problematic.
Uma Thurman didn't like just have her sweet 16 in these movies. She's not like a
I don't know though.
blushing-
They don't say they're not
babe.
very like.
She's not like a, you know,
I mean, she's
spring
an older
chicken.
actor when she's doing it. Like not that old. She's like in her 30s, but she's like kind of like ageless. They're not really like saying what age she
Uma
is.
Thurman is like in her 40s in Kill Bill.
Okay, do you think she was in her 40s when she was pregnant, like getting killed in the church?
No.
And then 7 years passed by. Like, there's just like a
Late
lot
thir-
of back.
early-
What is the
mid-30s.
timeline, guys?
30s. She's in her 30s. meaning
When
she
she
was
meets
training
Bill?
with Bill, like in her 20s, when he's in his 40s. You know what? I don't think that's an
20s,
issue.
40s.
I'm kind of on Nicole's side here.
No, I mean when I'm just gonna
The
say
more I think about
when
it.
I was on Bumble, my age range went from like 25 to 55.
Well, you can be looking for older guys. That's fine, Karen. Like, you're in
That
a
is
part
fine.
of your 20s that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm saying, like, it seems like she's much younger when she first meets him, and he seems eternally old. And
God.
he's also taking like this like
Groomed.
like this like grown like what's like the relationship, like he's like having he has more
mentor.
power. Yeah, he's a mentor, and he's the older one. It's like Celine Dion and her manager.
Okay.
I'm sorry, like that's gross. Like
Shh.
I know he's
don't why I
dead,
tell you
but
to
it was
shh.
gross.
I respect Celine and her. Why am I shitting
It's
you?
already gone. I said it. It's out. It's in the airwaves.
that back.
You're just like grabbing like at all things sensitive to me right now.
All the
Celine
things we
Dion,
care about.
Like all those love songs are about her relationship with her husband. Anyways, yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be sensitive to that, to the Me Too movement, and to what you're trying, to the issue you were trying to bring up. I am sensitive to that. I'm just saying you got to give Uma Thurman's character a little more credit. Maybe, I'm sure she was fully aware of what she was getting into.
You sound like one of
Falling
these
in love.
defenders.
Both of those
Listen.
things, right? One after the other.
That's the worst.
Very
I think
confusing.
it's very understanding to fall in love with your mentor, though. It's
But
not like it's
it could be problematic. I'm not saying that it necessarily is, but like there's a reason why like people are like, I don't like that. Like that's not cute.
Questionable.
Yeah. Like, you know, maybe if I talked to Celine
Boundaries.
Dion, I would understand like what happened there. But I doubt it. She was 12 when she met him. That's weird.
Okay, all right. Oh my God.
Pulling the facts. She's doing it again,
I'm
y'all.
sorry, Celine.
Said it again. Whoops. Celine Dion.
I love you.
We love you.
If you're listening, I don't have an issue with your relationship. But yeah, girl, I get you. I get
Okay.
you.
So more
I-
Killer Woman.
More on Killer Women.
Are there any more?
Yeah, there's a lot of killer women in horror films,
Ugh,
which
I
I
can't do horror
love.
Sorry.
Which
Yes.
is also why it's weird to me that I love these killer women films, because like I really can't do violence. I can't do horror. Like I don't do it. Period.
I'm
But
the
like
same.
throw a woman in there for some revenge, for some like me centering myself
yeah.
over whatever you want me to do. I just love it. It's so empowering.
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
I think I'm a child of the Lifetime generation. Like,
Mm.
I understand that there's
Snapped.
violence that's happening to women. Like, it's a part of my understanding of my world.
Yeah.
But I think, like, I'm able to turn that anxiety into a place that's actually, like, presses on my pleasure centers, because like, oh, there is a way to like make this work for you. Like, even if you've been victimized, you can find a way to like be the powerful agent in the situation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%.
Watch out, y'all. Killer Women.
Oh my gosh. Snapped.
Exactly.
I hope they don't use this tape as evidence.
I know.
And later in life for some.
For what? Evidence for what?
A future crime
We
that
would
hasn't
never
happened
see
yet.
it.
Like they're trying to like get into our headspace and our
Our psyche.
motivations. Yes. They want to know the mens rea. Oh my goodness.
As much as we are fascinated with this, we are not condoning murder. That's
No, not
that's
at
the
all.
bottom line.
Yes.
We
But-
hate
Disclaimer.
violence words.
You know,
Yes.
Use your words.
Yes.
It's very interesting, to understand like the mind of a killer in general. I feel like, I mean, making a murder. The whole Ted Bundy tapes are out now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because with men, a lot of these serial killers, maybe not real life serial killers, but like people love Christian Bale's character in American Psychopath, and he's a legit he's just like a straight up sociopath, like no feelings, no motivation, like no motive to like kill these people, to kill these women. But a lot of people love this character and this story and this film, and it's actually written by a woman. So I thought that was very
The
interesting.
original novel?
Yeah,
Or,
it's written
okay.
by women, which is also, screenplay. And I think a woman also directed the movie. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a female director.
Do you feel like it was a similar character to Villadelle in Killing Eve?
Yes, but I feel like he was very mysterious, and he was, it was like, it's like American Psychopath is like if John Hamm in Mad Men was a serial killer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like just like the suave, charming, rich, successful ladies' man, and just
Is
kills
he
people
like
for
a
fun.
assassin?
No,
so he's not
an
getting paid.
assassin.
I feel like that
Yeah,
like changes
exactly.
the equation.
Exactly. Yeah, they were both, but both that character and Villanelle, I feel, are sociopaths. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Villanelle would still be killing people if she wasn't getting paid to do
For
it.
sure.
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
know?
And I think that was a realization made by Eve's character in the beginning. She's like, oh, she probably killed before she was paid to. Yeah, definitely with the delight that she has. Like,
Yeah,
they
loves
tell you
it.
to, like, work in the job that makes you feel like not working.
Yeah.
Like, she
Never
definitely.
work a day in your life.
Yeah, it's like, if it's like your favorite thing, I don't know, I don't remember how that quote goes, but like, yeah, she is definitely loving her life. Like, her hobby is her job. Her hobby is her job, yeah. We found the quote. We got there.
Yeah. And that's rare to see, I think, for like women killers. Like you see it more for male ones where it's just kind of like a heartless sociopath type of thing. Usually for
Right.
women, it's like scorned woman or, yeah, really just scorned woman, I guess.
Have you seen Monster recently?
Oh my gosh, how have we not brought
I
that
know,
up?
that's-
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, one,
Have
it's
we
a
not
real
brought-
character. It's a real person.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
based on real life events. Monster was like so intense for
It
me.
was. And I haven't seen it in a while. I wonder how I would react to it.
I'm
These
wondering
days.
that too. I
Right.
was young when I saw it.
Yeah, I was too. Now I'm a hard, grizzled old woman.
Yeah.
It's so hard to like say because it's based on real life events and people's lives have actually been ruined or like cut off. Like it's hard to like also cheer for someone like that.
Yeah.
Romanticize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt very uncomfortable. I remember watching the film. I definitely didn't feel that same sense of thrill of like, oh, she's
Right.
smart
Like,
and
this is so
outsmarting
exciting.
these people
Yeah,
or
like
whatever.
revenge, you
no,
know?
I was just like, this is a sad human story.
Yeah.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
This is sad
She
as
just
fuck.
felt very raw the whole time. Like, oh,
Yeah.
tense.
And again, like what you were saying about like real victims, like it's like you can't delight in like this like very real like
Yeah.
these are real murders, like
Horrible.
they really died.
But
Yeah.
it's a nice fantasy. You know what I mean?
Like it's a
It's a nice-
yeah, when it's not.
If it's not real, like if I knew no one really died, like I'm like in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a different experience watching Monster versus like I'm sure Ex Machina, you know,
Yeah. Mahina.
Machina. Stop. What was I going to say? Well, there's the new Ted Bundy film with Zac Efron,
Mhm.
and apparently it's getting a lot of backlash or criticism because a lot of people are saying that Zac Efron
It's
is-
too hot.
well, it's like playing Ted Bundy in a way where women are finding him irresistible.
Basically, yeah.
When, you know, if you listen to the tapes, like, Ted Bundy did get his victims by being a charming man.
Right.
Like, very much like these other cult leaders like the Mansons. Very charming people. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard. It's interesting to see, like, movies getting made about these people.
Yeah.
There was a person, I think she was an actual victim who, like, escaped. And she said that she liked that it was being depicted in a film because they, like you said, like he used his handsomeness and his charm to, you know, be more enticing to his victims, you know, and she
Watch
just like
out.
wants to show that example of, like, that's real, like, just like, because people do get educated by movies, guys. Like, I'd like to
that's very
think.
true.
I'd
Of
like to think that we're
course.
not like
Of
just
course.
we're going to the library and we're looking up shit. No, a lot of times, like, the most efficient way to get information is watching a film or a TV show.
YouTube video.
Yeah.
Awesome. Works very well.
Those mediums are very efficient, and I think there is something to be said about people out there realizing, like, just because someone seems nice and, like, you know, seems like your neighborhood guy doesn't mean, like, you should be completely disarmed.
Well,
Yeah.
on that topic, have you guys seen You? On
No.
So
Netflix?
I've only seen, like, I think the first 2 or 3 episodes, but so crazy.
Yeah.
And real, though. Like, I feel like it's commentary on nice guys, quote unquote,
Mhm,
and how
mhm.
they're really, like, crazy.
Right.
And
And
crazy.
a lot of people are, like, saying that it's disturbing that a lot of people who are watching this show are like, oh my God, he's so cute.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Like how Millie Bobby Brown did.
Right,
on, like, that
exactly.
video,
Like,
and
she
she's like,
defended
she
his
just
character.
loves her.
But
Like,
he has, like,
girl.
straight up killed people. Like,
Girl.
let's not forget that. Like, he is a murderer. But yeah, I don't feel like there's a lot of killer women in stories that are like that. Like, that are
Yeah.
like the nice girl that you would never suspect. It's always like, I always feel like it's like an over sexualized,
Mhm.
kind of cold hearted, bitchy.
Like, using their
Woman.
femininity to, you know, sneak in and out of places. Like, I love that about Villanelle, that, like, the way that she kills people is, like, a very womanly way.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I'm gonna sneak up behind you with this pen, like, right in your femoral artery. Or you're like, oops, you didn't even notice me. Like, you don't
Sorry.
care when I come by.
Yeah.
Like, if it was a man behind her, like, people behind these two people, they would have noticed. Like, they would have known that some guy was, like, following them. When she, like, uses the hairpin from her hair and, like, goes straight in the
Oh
fucking
my
eye.
God, that
Oh,
part
right?
was crazy.
It was so
She's
crazy.
so crazy.
Yeah.
I love her.
And she's just like she's having the best time. Like, how can we not be happy for her?
Yeah.
Like,
Living her best life.
just want her
I don't know
to get
how she
everything
ran
she
away
wants.
in the end, though. That's really crazy. to
I know,
me.
she got really
Like,
stabbed.
how did you do that, girl?
I don't know what's happening. I'm very excited to see what
Yeah, me
happens.
too.
But, like, I'm really worried for Eve.
Yeah.
I mean, for good reason, because Eve
She's
kept
not ready. She ain't ready.
This is a cat and mouse game.
Except
Like, she
it's
loves
like a
the chase.
lion and a
Yeah,
mouse.
right.
Like,
Levels.
right.
She's levels above her.
True.
she has
She
a
loves it though.
fucking bathroom sponge to fight with this girl.
I know.
Like, girl, get your life.
But that shows a lot. That says a lot about her character. She's like, it seems like she loves getting that close to like feeling like her life
Yeah.
is in danger.
Yeah.
True.
It gets her off.
She likes
Yeah.
the-
You know,
Pain.
she did it so many times in the
Fear.
show.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
real.
Like, I'm gonna step out of this car
Yeah.
and approach a serial killer with no information about how she's going to react. Like,
I wouldn't, but
I
go off.
yeah, like I watched a lot of this with David, and he gets very upset when characters
up.
do things that don't make any sense when they're just unreasonable. He gets so worked up. He's like, Why? What are you doing? Like, she's smarter than you.
Yeah, especially when your life is on the line.
Yeah.
Like, no, be smart.
You're gonna get really dead. For real. Don't do that.
Dead.
You should never call a psychopath a psychopath. Karen had something to say about that.
Well, I really appreciated that line. You should never call a psychopath a psychopath. It just reminds me of like men that call women crazy.
Mhm.
Like, for me, that's a
Hysterical.
trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that is a straight up trigger. Like, if someone calls me crazy, I will
You want to see
prove
crazy?
them right. No.
I'll be crazy.
Yeah, I know, it's so bad. Like, I will prove you right, and it's not good. It's not healthy. But yeah, that line triggered me.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't be calling people out of their names because then they start acting like what we were calling them.
It's very true. It's very true. I once heard someone say, if someone gets upset that you call them crazy, it means that they're really crazy. It was also a man that said that.
I was about
but
to say
yeah.
that's so like manipulative type of phrase.
Yeah, it seems like a very reductionist attitude. Like, you only come to those quick little, like, elite daily, like, snippets about life if you think life is easy and in black and white. Like, nah. Like, if they really crazy, they smile at you while you call them crazy. Like,
And then they
Me?
kill your ass.
yes.
That's how people snap.
Boom.
yes.
Yeah.
So, shall we wrap up? You
I
seem
also
like
wanna
you're not
say-
sure.
No, I mean, this was a very heavy episode for me. I feel like a lot of serious things were talked about.
I mean, it seemed
know
like
what
you were
I
having a
mean?
good time.
I'm having a great time, but I'm like taking it all in. Like, so many things like were like thrown into the pot. Me too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All this stuff. Nolan not casting like black actors. This is
Very
I feel like that's what
serious
took you the hardest. You're like, what? Cancel the airwaves.
That and the Celine Dion comment.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, I can't be managed, guys.
These are all like people's lives. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm very sensitive.
I agree, though.
I've taken a lot of energy. I'm very sensitive. But in the world of fantasy, one of my favorite female killers is Jason Voorhees' mom from Friday the 13th. I just want to give a quick shout out to that because
Okay.
I love the Friday the 13th franchise. And yeah, that's one of my favorite horror films. And the first killer was this like 60-year-old woman wearing this hockey mask and like
Wow.
slashing bitches like in the camp.
Wait,
So, spoiler to Friday the 13th.
That came out like 40 years ago.
I'm never going to watch it.
Same,
so
I'm
like-
fine. I'm just
like-
saying.
Yeah,
now I
Jason
know.
is
The
a
first
woman?
first Friday the 13th is Jason Voorhees' mom.
Okay.
And then the second one and the ones after is actual Jason.
So,
Oh my
Jason,
gosh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you see?
he drowned
Body
in the
roll.
lakes,
I like
right?
that.
So he was oh my gosh, here we go.
I'm just
he
very
was
excited now.
mentally challenged, disabled child, and the camp counselors drowned him because they thought, or the camp counselors or the children in the camp drowned him. So the mother took it upon herself to take revenge on all
I
the
see.
counselors.
Was she working at the camp?
No,
or-
she was just the mother of a child.
No,
that
no, no.
drowned.
I'm just like wondering
Oh,
how she's
how
like
she got
able to
so
be on.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very true. No.
She was just hiding in the trees. She was like, she built a tree house.
Trees.
She was pooping in the forest, burying her poop, and
I'm
she
really
was able
upset
to.
that they drowned this kid. Like, what?
Yeah, you
Yeah, it's a
see?
crazy
Again,
backstory.
Snapped, like,
Yeah.
you know,
like-
revenge.
Yeah.
Revenge.
That reminds me of okay, one quick aside,
Yeah.
then we can finish. But like the Lorena Bobbitt, apparently there's a documentary that has come out about it
Vibes.
recently, and
Yes.
it just like kind of paints it in a different picture and shows like it was because he had raped her.
Yeah.
And that's a part that I actually had never known about the story, and it's just so crazy.
No, I agree. I really want to see that. And I agree. Like, it's so crazy to like look back on like how I viewed all these things from the 90s.
Yes.
But I feel like I really just like took in like the media's interpretation of these
Exactly.
events, and it was kind of just like this woman scorned. Like, it was like similar to that other woman who like attacked. She got shot by her husband's lover, and like the media was like all about it because
like what? Yeah, like what? I didn't know.
yes,
this.
like yeah, she got shot in the mouth or something, and her mouth was like all fucked up, and like it was like
Lord
yeah, it was
Jesus.
bad, and
It's so hard out here being a woman. Why?
they made like
Lord.
2 TV movies about it. Yeah, so like I feel like the media was just like, sensationalizing
Yeah.
these like situations where like, oh, you fucked with this woman and now she cut off your dick and she
because women be crazy.
yeah. Yeah, and like there was a humor to it. I'm sure like
Yeah.
SNL made like their own like little skit about it. Like it wasn't taken as seriously. So I'm excited for a documentary that like really looks
Yeah.
into what motivated her to take this extreme action. Because like looking at it now as like a grown woman, like unless she really was like psychotic, like it seemed like she was in a desperate situation, like
Yeah.
to go that far.
Yeah.
That's
Because
just
a knife, like that's close. That's intimate.
Yes.
Violence, like
Mm-hmm.
a stabbing. I always think about that. That's like worse than shooting.
oh
'Cause
yeah.
you have to be so close, and it's just like you feel it like going into the body. Sorry.
Oh, for sure.
These are the things I think about.
No, I agree. It's definitely the more like vicious, like, oh, like wow, like you really hate this person. And I think I've heard that, like, it,
someone really committing.
yeah,
to an
Yeah.
act.
yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if like they're actually doing research with police departments, but like Law and Order SVU will say like, oh, if it was a stabbing, then they knew each other. It wasn't just like somebody who came into the home, but who knows. Anyway, let's wrap up.
Oh my gosh.
Just a disclaimer: we do not condone murder. So
Or
please,
violence of any kind.
yes, no violence. We're pacifists at Cinema Therapy Show. Please follow us at Cinema Therapy Show on Instagram, and follow me at Nicole Sophia with a PH on Instagram. And Karen, how do you spell your name again? How do people do that? What's your Instagram handle?
KJPANGANTIHON.
Well, say it like a
That
song.
was almost like a song.
Uh,
A jingle.
Yes.
and thank you to Ty.
Thank
for
you,
being
Ty.
here, guys.
Illustrious guest for
It was
this
fun.
week. Thank you.
I love talking about killer women.
Yes, you were great at it.
Savage.
Yes. It was a good
Savage
match.
life.
Mm-hmm. Didn't I tell you I was a savage? Rihanna, you're in our hearts.
Forever.
I mean,
moment.
always.
We love you,
Always.
Rihanna.
But just wanted to put that out there. And we love you too, Celine Dion.
Yes.
Hope
Yeah,
you're
we
okay.
love you too.
Okay. Bye.
okay.
See you next week.